The title of mine is The Education of Charlene Teters. So I want to talk about our traditional educators. Our educators are storytellers. And, you know, my grandmother, this is my mother, but my grandmother was a storyteller. And so within the context of our traditional educators, you ask a question and they would tell you a story. And so sometimes those stories would go on a long, long time. So long that sometimes you forgot the question. And my grandmother, she was an activist in her own way, in that she could speak fluent English, but refused to speak English with these stories because they were so important to, you know, within the context of our culture, that when you changed even one word into English, you've changed them. Museum that had 234 Indian remains on display. And I didn't want to stay on that one too long. We also, as we were bringing people to address this issue, the mascot issue, we would drive them the few hours away to go to Dixon Mound so they could see what was going on there. So we were doing simultaneous protest on the campus and at this museum, Dixon Mound's museum. So it escalated through a year of protest at Dixon Mound's museum to the point of where we took over this museum. And some of our, we appointed some of our activist allies to go in and basically start to rebury the ancestors. And we were successful in getting this museum closed. So, but I'm showing it because it's also, these are the two issues that show up in terms of the kind of work that I started to produce. So when I was there as a grad student, people would actually come and bring things to it and push, you know, so I would find like coins pushed in it, I would see notes pushed in it, things left on the base of it. It became this very interesting kind of collection of things, you know, so as things became exposed, it would fall down and they would put it back on, so it was very interesting. But there was one day I got a call early in the morning and said, somebody has vandalized your piece. I'm going like, really? What happened, you know? So somebody had spray painted Indian underneath Savage. So, you know, it was like this big, you know, across it. So they were trying to again put, you know, Savage Indians, you know. So I'm going like, don't touch it, you know. So I went out there because I wanted to photograph the piece, photograph it because it became part of the history of the piece. You know, because it was easy to erase it. You just like kind of grind it away and it's gone. But it was, you know, the piece was working really well. And it also caused a lot of people to go back then to the historic piece. You know, so there was this nice interaction between my piece and then the historic piece and then coming back to it. So it became kind of, even the tourist trolleys were stopping by it.